Examination quality assurance body Umalusi says it will be monitoring examination centres across the country to maintain the integrity of the final year exams. At least 700,000 of the more than 1 million registered candidates will sit for the National Senior Certificate exams. With exams expected to start in the coming week, Umalusi's urged parents and teachers to support the candidates. It says it will also be closely monitoring examinations in the higher education sector. Senior Manager of the Public Relations and Communications at Umalusi, Biki Lepota, joins us now for more. Good evening and thank you for joining us here on The Late Edition.
Good evening, Juliet, and good evening to the viewers of your station, and thanks for having us.
What specific measures is Umalusi implementing to ensure the integrity of the National Senior Certificate exams?
Thank you for the question. In terms of the framework that Umalusi uses in gauging the readiness of the system, it comprises various focus areas. The first of those areas look at the systems that are used to register learners, and we test the systems, and once we're happy, we then pronounce. Secondly, we look at the adequacy of the personnel employed to manage the examinations while they are in session. Once examinations have been written, the scripts have got to be marked. So the other area of focus is whether the people appointed to mark the various subjects, the number is sufficient. And then, of course, we also look at the IT systems that the assessment bodies will be using to upload the marks from which Umalusi is able to access and perform its quality assurance thereof. So those are some of the measures that we look at prior to us pronouncing to the public that the system is ready.
How will Umalusi monitor examination centres for potential challenges like cheating or logistical issues during the exam period?
Great. We have announced that we have upwards of 9,400 centers spread across the country. In monitoring of the examinations, we do that by way of sampling because we cannot be at every center at the same time for practical reasons. We go to the center on the basis of the classifications that we have done on the centers. We said that the centers are classified into three. We have centers classified as low risk, medium risk, and high risk centers, and we explained how we get to the classification. So we will be deploying our monitors throughout the country to go and monitor those centers to ensure that the examinations run in accordance with policy, that the examinations run in accordance with the management plans. And we will also wanting to check whether the examination centers have appointed enough people to invigilate in relationship with the number of learners who will be writing at the respective centers.
What role do parents and teachers play in supporting candidates during this critical time of their lives?
Well, parents and teachers play a critical role. To start with, before they go to school, learners come from families. So the immediate environment of the learners are parents themselves. We are saying parents need to create an enabling environment to the examinees or the learners to enable them to do that which is needed for them to adequately prepare for the examinations. Create space for them, create a conducive environment for them, support them, whether it's by moving them from home to school or whether it's by doing other things. In terms of the teachers, we are urging all the teachers to make everything humanly possible to support the learners just before the writing of the exams because we're remaining with a few days. If there's a need for revision in this or that subject, let them stick to the plan. While the examinations are in session, the teachers need to also ensure that they do that which they are appointed to do in the form of invigilation. So that is a kind of support. But we're not only calling on teachers and parents, we're calling on every community member to support the learners. For example, we have made a call, we have appealed to community members to not use the exam as a leverage to achieve whatever they may be wanting to achieve. Sometimes it has happened in the past that some communities destabilizes the writing of the exam in order to call for attention from a municipality, for example, when they're saying we don't have water. So if we use this as an instrument, maybe our calls will be heard. So we are making an appeal to every stakeholder in the country to support the smooth running of the examinations.
What steps will Umalusi take if irregularities are detected during the monitoring of, the 2025 final year exams?
Thank you for the question. Again, as we've said, we are actually reminding everybody in the system that cheating doesn't pay. There are harsh penalties should anyone be caught cheating, because should that be the case, your marks will be nullified, and another sentence could be that you'll be barred from participating in the exam for up to 2 to 3 years. So those are harsh realities on the part of the learners. In respect of the invigilators who happen to be teachers, we have seen in the past that those who were caught participating in such malpractices, some of them were punished by way of docking their salaries, whereas others have been dismissed from the system. So we are making a call to everybody, and it is very encouraging to see that the Department of Basic Education has sustained the measure that have been running since 2013 to say we will call all the learners to a central place so that they can sign a pledge, which is a promise to the system. It's a promise to parents, it's a promise to teachers, it's a promise to the whole system that I will not involve myself in such acts of malpractice.
Thank you so much. That was Biki Lepota, Senior Manager at Public Relations and Communications at Umalusi.